Okay, for this video we're going to go through simultaneous equations. So it's saying find the solution to the following pair of simultaneous linear equations using some kind of mathematical method. I'm going to show you two ways. For this question, I'm going to show you how to do the substitution method. And then in the next question, I'll show you the elimination method. Okay, in this question, it's easiest to use substitution, and you'll see why. Okay, so I've been given two equations. The reason why I've been given two equations is because if I didn't have the other one, I really can't solve this question without having one of the x's or y's. It's impossible unless I'm given more information. So the more information I've been given is another equation. And in this equation, we've got x variables and we also have y. So really the goal of this is to find a value for x and a value for y. Okay, that's the goal. And I need to use both these equations to be able to get the values of the two. So we solve them simultaneously means at the same time. Okay, so first things first, I will label the equations. I'll call this one equation 1, call the other one equation 2. So wherever I have y equals 2x minus 1, so wherever I have 2x minus 1, I'm going to substitute it into equation 2 and substitute it as y, because that's what y equals, is 2x minus 1. So I'm going to substitute 2x minus 1 into where y is in the second equation. So I'll write it out. Substitute equation 1 into equation 2. So what this will look like is 3x plus 4 into 2x minus 1 equals 29. So you can see that's the 2x minus 1 instead of y. That's what I've written. Now that we only have x, we can solve this equation and find the value of x. Once we have the value of x, we'll plot it back into one of these equations and find the value of y. That's the goal. So let's go through this. We've got 3x plus 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times negative 1 is minus 4 equals 29. 8x plus 3x is 11x. Then I subtract 4 on both sides. Sorry, add 4 on both sides to get rid of the 4 here. So this 4 can disappear. So 11x equals 29 plus 4, which is 33. Then I can divide 11 on both sides and I get x equals 3. So fantastic, I've solved for x. Now we will solve for y. So I'll say substitute x equals 3 into equation 1. You could substitute into any of them, but equation 1 is the simple one to get y. So I'll say y equals 2x minus 1. So where x is there, I should put 3. 2 times 3 minus 1, I've got 6 minus 1, and so y is equal to 5. So I've solved these simultaneous equations using substitution. Okay, let's go down to the last question of this paper, which is a B level one, which is also to do with simultaneous equations. So let's read it. The cost of a cup of coffee and croissant is that. So one coffee and one croissant is $8.50. Okay, an order of 5 coffees and 3 croissants is that. So I need to create two equations to do with coffee and croissant, then solve them simultaneously. So let's do it. Now because coffee and croissant both start with the letter C, I might use different letters to call them. So I'll say x is coffee and y is croissant. Okay, so if we look at the yellow bit, we'll make an equation using what's highlighted in yellow. So we can say x plus y, so one coffee, one croissant is $8.50. So that's my yellow equation. Then the next one, I will say 5 coffees, so 5x plus 3 croissants, so 3y equals $35.70. So what's missing now is really I need to know the price of each. So I'll solve them together or simultaneously, and this time we are going to use elimination method. Okay. What I mean by elimination method is if we had, for example, let's say this was a 5x, then I could subtract the equations because 5x minus 5x would be 0, and then I'll just be left with the y's and I can solve that. But I can't just magically just put a 5 there. That's not how it works. If I wanted to put a 5 there, I'd have to multiply the whole equation by 5. So it'd be 5x plus 5y times equals whatever 8.5 times 5 is. But I think the simpler way to do it is to maybe make this one 3, so I'm not dealing with big numbers. So if I make that one a 3, then I can cross out the y's, solve for x, and then figure out what that's going to be. Okay. But first, let's label our equation. We'll call this one 1, we'll call the other one 2. So I have decided that I'm going to multiply the first one by 3, just to use smaller numbers. And so what I've got is, I'll say, okay, let's multiply the whole of equation 1 by 3 so that the y can become 3. And now I'll have a new equation which is 3x plus 3y equals 25.5. Okay, and I'm gonna call this guy equation 3. Okay, so now we're going to use these two equations, equation 2 and the new one that I just formed. Okay, I'm just going to highlight them both pink, so these are the ones I want to use. So remember, the bottom one is just the new and improved equation 1. So equation 2 minus equation 3, this is going to give us 5x minus 3x, so that 5x minus 3x, and we know that's 5x minus 3x is 2x. Then 3y minus 3y, that's just 0, so that helps us out, that's gone, is equal to when I was erasing it, I made a mistake. I think I erased out the 35, so that needs to be a 35.7. Hope you see that there. Okay, then 2x, so 5x minus 3x is 2x, the y's are gone, then 35.7 minus 25.5 is 10.2. Then I can divide both sides by 2 to get rid of the 2 here, and x is 5.1. I'll solve for x. Now we need to solve for y. And the easiest equation for me to use is equation 1, because it's simple. So I'll say, from here, I'll say substitute x equals 5.1 into equation 1. I could substitute any of this and get the same answer. Any equation 1, 2 or 3, you should get the same value of y. So I'll rewrite my equation. I've got x plus y equals 8.5. So where x is, I'll put 5.1. So 5.1 plus y equals 8.5. So to get rid of the 5.1, I will subtract 5.1 on both sides. And what I will have is those two will disappear, and I'll have y equals 3.4. So the croissant costs $3.4. Okay, because y was the croissant, that's $3.4, and the coffee was 5. That's how you do the elimination method.